stranger.
Hey. Okay.
How are you?
I'm trying to think. Do I hear echoes? What's going on? I'm well. How are
I'm
you?
good, thanks. I don't hear anything
Okay, cool, cool,
on my
cool.
end.
Okay. Hopefully, everybody else is in. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Tanika. Hey, Renita. As everybody is coming in, don't forget to hit the like button, y'all. Don't forget to hit the like button. It gives us some traction. You
Definitely.
can hit the like button for free. How are you? How was your week?
It was good.
Good, good. I can't wait till meeting after the meeting. Lord,
Okay.
I got some stuff to say.
Uh-oh.
And usually that's your jam, but
Exactly.
I got some stuff to say. All right, all right. Well, welcome everybody to our Saturday morning tea, where we discuss health information, news, education, certification tips, entrepreneurship. Did you get snow? We got snow. The
Yeah, we
weather.
got we got snow. We got
It's
snow.
clearing up a little bit, so I don't think I'm snowed in, but we got snow. I might be iced in because I hear it's icy out there. But anyway, the revenue cycle at large. And as you come in, don't forget to hit the thumbs up or like button and share. As one of my pastors used to say all the time, be an inviter. Be an inviter. Invite somebody to the tea. All right. I'm Clarice Warner, the girl with the pearls, the founder and senior education director of the Professional Reimbursement Network, LLC, where coding education is key. And PRN is a healthcare compliance consultancy located in Cincinnati, Ohio, that specializes in revenue cycle and regulatory compliance and education. Now, let me ask you, do you know what it takes to be a certified marketable medical coder? Do you? Do you really? Do you think you do? Well, before I introduce my co host, let me share with you information on a free 99 email course on the 5 steps to become a certified marketable medical coder. Are you interested in medical coding, but not sure where to start? And scared of wasting time and resources? Let me help you with the right steps to become a certified marketable medical coder. Learn more at bit.ly/5stepscoder. All right. So if you are interested in getting more information about the 5 steps to become a certified marketable medical coder, let me put the emphasis where it needs to be. Check the video description for the link. All right. So joining me today, yes, is my co-host, Mr. Jesse, the registered trademark. Oh, I love that. Put some respect on his name, the coding nurse. Sir, introduce yourself and tell the folks all about you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jesse. I live in Philadelphia. I have been in healthcare for over 30 years. And in 2014, I left the bedside and transitioned into HIM. And during the pandemic in 2020, I created a company, the Coding Nurse LLC, where I help nurses and other clinical people and other healthcare people with a clinical background transition into the wonderful world of HIM.
And how's all of that going for you?
And it is going well. And since I want everybody
Where's
to
my tea?
I want everybody to keep me in prayer because I've fallen victim to Girl Scout cookies.
Sir, no, 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 no.
They got it's on my
Oh, they done got you. You
they
done
on my
got.
back. Yeah, they on my back. They ride me hard.
Well, Lord, we are channeling all prayer warriors at this time to
Yeah,
please add Mr. Jesse on the prayer to get rid of this addiction to these demons
yeah.
called Girl Scout cookies. Oh my goodness. Good morning, Mrs. Katrina. Good morning to our on the street correspondent, the crafty coder. Good morning. Good morning. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. We got to add somebody else to the prayer list.
See?
Lord, those thin mints are such a temptation. Okay, we got to add Sherry as well.
Yeah.
Lord, y'all.
I, I don't know what's in them.
Rebuke them.
Yeah.
Yes. We go rebuke them in the name. In the name. Ah, Lord. All right. So, sorry, that was a whole church announcement. That's a separate segment,
Yeah.
just the prayer line. I don't know. We got to
Yeah.
figure out a separate segment for that one. The folks we need to add to the prayer list. Yes, we'll have a prayer list segment. All right. Before we jump in, let me remind you that you can join in and add to the conversation. As you see, we already out here and we doing it in the chat. So don't be shy. Your opinion matters and it's welcomed here. We have the chat on all platforms, so feel free to place your comments there. We'll see them, we'll add them, we'll discuss them. If you have a question, however, all I ask is that you type a Q first so that we know it's a question and we don't miss it. We do engage with the chat, but we really want to make sure that we answer any questions that you have. So for
And we
those
also,
not in lemonades, ma'ams.
that's what I got.
It's the lemonades for y'all.
Yep.
Where's y'all tea?
But
Y'all ain't supposed to have cookies. Y'all supposed to have tea.
what the cookies? What has? But speaking
Y'all ain't
of
in the
chat,
UK. We in America. Oh my God. We in the US of A. Oh my goodness. Y'all funny. Y'all are funny this morning and I love it. But you were going to say something. I'm sorry.
speaking of the chat, we always ask the chat to give us topic ideas, and they never do.
They
You
don't.
all be engaged. If it's
That's
something
right.
you want us to cover, let
And
us
y'all know
know.
how we like to cover it.
Mhm.
We'll get to the nitty gritty of it.
Sure will.
So yes, feel free to let's see. Uh-oh. The Girl Scout cookies got them in the chokehold. Right. We can't even move on. Ma'am, add extra prayer. Lord. I'm about to play the prayer music. See, that's gonna be next. Pray for
Can I
me.
tell? Can I tell? I gotta share this story. Like we just talk about
Sure.
turn them loose. I remember back in the day when crack was really bad.
Okay.
Our church, the local church, had a team of people that they would call the hard hats, and they literally wore white construction hats, and they would go stand in front of crack houses and sing. What I tell
All
you,
night long?
pretty late.
Oh. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And I remember the song.
Wait a minute. They had a whole wait.
Yes, they
Don't
did.
make me send you in your care package a white construction hat. Stop playing.
They
It's
did.
about to go all the way down. Okay, wait a minute. Let's see. Sherry says, first time here. Well, welcome. So we will see what information to share and maybe come up with some questions. Well,
Okay.
feel free.
Yes.
Come through. Look at that. I love it. All right. So let's see. Where am I? So for those who are just joining us or watching the replay, today we are unveiling the 41 new ICD-10-PCS codes recently released by CMS effective April 1st. So I know the last couple times we've been in my lane. I felt like we're gonna come over here in your lane. So here we are with the PCS stuff. All right, but first, we have church announcements. And church announcements, we have, let's see, our church announcements. It's still February, so we're
Yep.
still in Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. What? That's a whole other comment. Never mind. I was about to... See, I be forgetting sometimes that we live. And I have to monitor. All right. So today's church announcement came from our friends started with our friends from the AMA. Even though, I saw some more stuff about their scope creep. Well, I want to know how much money is in that budget, because that budget is something else. But one thing that they...
compassionate sacrifice.
And the compassionate sacrifice. But one thing that they mentioned, which was really good, and I wanted to bring it to your attention. Yes, we got the... Yes, you know the organ. I can't even focus.
Yes.
I can't even focus. And we got the little usher fingers. Okay. They talked about a study regarding revealing disparities, healthcare workers' observations of discrimination against patients. So, this piqued my whole public health hat, and I said, well, wait a minute, let's do some deep diving and some looking. So the AMA referenced an article from, I think it was USA Today, but they also had the report. And so, you know me, I went to the source. I wanted to look at the report. What does the report say? What are we talking about? So let's see. Let me bring this up so y'all can see. Okay, we got it. Okay, so pretty much they were talking about discrimination against patients in healthcare settings on the basis of race, ethnicity, or language can negatively impact the quality of care and health outcomes. Workers on the front line of care delivery can provide insights about the nature of this discrimination, helping to inform opportunities to address bias and unequal treatment. So the goal of the study was to understand discrimination against patients from the perspective of the healthcare workers, which I thought was a different kind of spin on this. They had 6 focus groups of healthcare workers followed by a survey of 3,000 healthcare workers across a variety of healthcare settings. The findings were the surveyed workers across all races, ethnicities, ages, genders, and care settings personally witnessed discrimination against patients and consider it to be a serious problem. Younger healthcare workers, are Gen X, Ys, Zs, millennials, all of them. And healthcare workers of color were more likely than their older or white counterparts to acknowledge witnessing this discrimination. Just under half of all healthcare workers indicated the discrimination causes them stress. So the conclusions from the study: discrimination against patients based on race, ethnicity, or language is a serious problem that impacts care delivery and workforce morale. Health systems can take steps to facilitate reporting and tracking of discrimination, review treatment of non-English speaking patients, measure equity in outcomes and experiences, and train workers to identify and respond to racism. Industry leaders and policymakers can pursue strategies to change health professionals' education and better listen to patients and healthcare workers of color. I think this study was from the Commonwealth Fund, and it came out February 15th, or was published February 15th. So I think it's in the link. If not, I'll make sure it's in the resources link. But there is more information about the study. But here were like the findings. So half of all health workers say racism against patients is a major problem or crisis. It's broken down by all the healthcare workers, by race, by age, and then some more commentary related to that. Nearly half of all healthcare workers have witnessed discrimination against patients. Employees of a facility with mostly Black or Latino patients reported witnessing discrimination at higher rates. Large percentages of healthcare workers agree that patients can receive disparate care based on race, ethnicity, or language. And healthcare workers report facing stress because of racial or ethnic discrimination in healthcare. And employees of a facility with mostly Black or Latino patients were more likely to report experiencing a lot of stress. So those were some of the findings. Again, this was a really good article. Again, if I didn't put it in, I can't remember if I put it in there because it was for the church announcement. But if I didn't, I'll make sure to add that. So if you want to go and check this out, feel free to do so. Mr. Jesse, did you have any comments? And I think in the AMA, before I get to you, I think in the AMA piece, they talked about a Philadelphia hospital, but that's neither here nor there. But go ahead.
Okay. Honestly, that report was a waste of time, money, and ink because they act like it's new. I mean, race factors into everything in America.
Mm-hmm.
And did you really have to do a study to find that out? And the thing is, what are the consequences? Because whenever I hear training when it comes to race, I'm like, you can't train away racism. That is a deep-seated belief that somebody has. They have to change it. In order for them to change, like the only thing that healthcare can do is to weed them out. Period. That's the only way to do it.
Well, unfortunately, we're gonna disagree. I know it's nothing new. I know it's nothing under the sun. However, you're dealing with scientists, and scientists needs to see evidence, and scientists need to see the data, and they need to see the research behind. So anytime a research study is conducted and published, it gets the eye and attention of those in the scientific community. So for the AMA to, and I don't know if it was a Black History Month play, I don't know, but for the AMA to pick up this study and discuss the study amongst their peers, to me, showed that there's still discussions that need to be had, and hopefully seeing the data and seeing the information will allow not only the healthcare worker themselves, but the facility at large or the healthcare organization to make some strides in a positive direction. I'll say it that way. And I'm sure there are probably more and more and more uh, uh, studies out here. But I think most of the data came from, because I believe there was the study, the head investigator, I think, was an African American female physician with the African American Research Collaborative. So I appreciate, for me, the perspective of this study, because to your point, racism has been there and will probably continue to be here for years to come. However, this perspective in this setting that we all operate in was refreshing to see for me. I'll step off my soapbox now. All right, so those were our church announcements. Mr. Jesse, did you have any church announcements for the people?
No, just my Girl Scout cookie issue.
Lord, yes, and we're gonna be putting you and the rest of y'all that I see in these chats that's getting hemmed up by the Girl Scouts on the prayer list today. So let's jump into these codes. So for those who may not know, may be new to our profession, every year, historically, every year, once a year, our ICD-10, CM, and PCS codes were updated. Those updates usually came out end of came out in the summertime for effective dates in October. October 1 was the effective date. Well, within the last 3-4 years, I think, because I think that, yeah, 3-4 years, or maybe, yeah, I think 3-4 years, because I do remember this happening during COVID, and it may have been the year before. But anyway, um, we now get updates twice a year. So we'll have new codes that will be released for October 1st, and we will also have new codes that will be released in April, both ICD-10-CM and ICD-10-PCS, as well as the guidelines for both of those systems. In April, effective April 1st, there will be a total of nearly 79,000 PCS codes, and most of them will be coming from the medical and surgical section. One thing I want to mention on the guidelines, and I think I pulled them up somewhere. Yes. Okay. Let me show my screen. There is one PCS guideline change effective for April. Okay. And that is in the guideline D1A. So this one was revised in response to public comment and an internal review. D1A, so the radiation therapy section guidelines is section D, and it's for radiation, for brachytherapy. It says brachytherapy is coded to the modality brachytherapy in the radiation therapy section. When a radioactive brachytherapy source is left in the body at the end of the procedure, it is coded separately to the root operation insertion with the device value radioactive element. The example that they provide, I think they have two. Oh Lord, and I see all kinds of words. Okay. Brachytherapy with implantation of a low dose rate brachytherapy source left in the body at the end of the procedure is coded to the applicable treatment site in section D, radiation therapy, with the modality brachytherapy, the modality qualifier value, low dose rate, and the applicable isotope value and qualifier value. The implantation of the brachytherapy source is coded separately to the device value radioactive element in the appropriate insertion table of the medical and surgical section. The radiation therapy section code identifies the specific modality and isotope of the brachytherapy, and the root operation insertion code identifies the implantation of the brachytherapy source that remains in the body at the end of the procedure. There are exceptions. Implantation of cesium-131 brachytherapy seeds embedded in a collagen matrix to the treatment site after resection of brain tumor is coded to the root operation insertion with the device value radioactive element cesium-131 collagen implant. Similarly, implantation of palladium-103 brachytherapy seeds embedded in a collagen matrix to the treatment site after resection of brain tumor is coded to the root operation insertion with the device value radioactive element palladium-103 collagen implant. These procedures are coded to the root operation insertion only because the device value identifies both the implantation of the radioactive element and a specific brachytherapy isotope. So that was the only change in the the guidelines for PCS effective April 1st, 2024. Mr. Jesse, did you want to say anything about that one?
Yeah, this goes well. It goes in line with the ICD-10 CM guidelines because in Chapter 2, like under neoplasms, when somebody is normally admitted for treatment, because this is not the insertion is not considered treatment.
Mm-hmm.
They're being set up for the treatment. So
Mm-hmm.
typically you would use, if they come in for treatment, you would use a Z51 code for whatever the therapy is, whether it's radiation, chemotherapy, or immunotherapy. But and with that, the Z code will be listed first. But since they're coming for the implantation of the device, according to the guidelines, the cancer that they have will be sequenced first because they're not receiving any treatment.
All right. Good morning, Vicky. See you on there. Hey, hey. Okay. So let's get into some of these codes. Now, let me give a disclaimer. Some of these codes have drugs and substances attached to them that I can't pronounce. So I'm I will butcher. Y'all know how I feel about butchering a name. So we gonna work through the names of some of the things that I've seen. All right, so let's take a look. And this is actually I believe this document is actually part of the description in the resources section. Okay. So again, here are the 41 new procedure codes um, for PCS, which is procedure coding system, that are effective April 1st. There are also uh, grouper information for MSDRG, uh, information and the software and all of that stuff. So if you go out to the CMS website, the CMS ICD-10 website, you'll find information on the new guidelines for both CM and PCS, as well as the lists of codes and their descriptions and all of the things. So the first code is, I think we got enough time to do this. Okay. 00H005Z. Again, this is insertion of the radioactive element palladium 103 collagen implant into brain, open approach. The next code is for this 02583ZF, destruction of conduction mechanism using irreversible electroporation percutaneous approach. And then, oh, let me just say, you also have the additional information here of the MDC and the MSDRG as well. Next, you have a resection of the spleen, percutaneous endoscopic approach, and further specified as hand assisted. Dilation of nasopharynx with an open approach, dilation of nasopharynx via natural or artificial opening, dilation of nasopharynx via natural or artificial opening endoscopic. So those are 3 new codes for that. Excision of right large intestine percutaneous endoscopic approach, hand assisted. Excision of large intestine percutaneous endoscope approach, hand assisted. Mr. Jesse, I can't see. So if there are questions, comments, or you need to say something, say something.
That hand assisted is wearing me because I've never heard of that. Like the percutaneous endoscopic, I got all that. The open, I got all that. I don't know what this hand assisted is. So I guess, well, I mean, I don't know. I have to do some reading on what this hand is because that's new. I've never seen that before.
Okay. Well, we'll dig. We'll dig. And I don't know. in my what I'm thinking may or may not be the case, y'all. But just off the dome conversations, you know how you have robotic stuff, and maybe
Right.
so this is where. But wouldn't they always be hand assisted? Where the
Exactly.
actual where the surgeon is actually in there
Exactly.
doing it themselves. But maybe they want to differentiate at some point between what is robotic and what is hand assisted. I don't know. That's my first thought.
Mm.
And so maybe we'll have some new codes coming down to because I think most of them says this, and that may be what the change in that G digit is.
Because what I'm trying to understand is how are they going to educate these providers to say for you to determine whether it was hand assisted? Because they barely want to document what you need just to get the regular to get the regular codes done. Now, if you
So wouldn't they have to? So say it was a robotic surgery, wouldn't they have to indicate um that somewhere in the op report?
they already do,
Okay.
but it's not. But the it's robotic assist. The robot didn't perform it. It's still being performed by the surgeon.
Okay.
So I don't. It's going to be interesting.
I know because maybe they're, you know how AI about to take over the world. So maybe.
Because
Oh, that was the other thing I was supposed to talk about. Oh, we got to circle back. Oh no. We'll leave that for the meeting after the meeting. Anyway.
where I
um,
work, like they do a lot of, especially like their bariatric surgery, they use a lot of robotic assisted, and also when they do knee replacements,
uh,
but it's like robotic assist, and it's like a 8. It starts with the 8. I forget what the 8 section is, but
uh.
so this is going to be interesting to see how, because I just want to know how you're going to educate them to, or how will you be able to determine in the documentation.
Yeah, that would definitely be an educational opportunity at that time to for them to indicate that in the notes because again, you wouldn't even be able to code it appropriately without having that information.
Exactly. Or it's going to be a whole lot of
It's
miscodes.
going to be a lot of miscodes, which could potentially uh, have some financial repercussions related to them as well. So yeah, that's going to have to be a hard education for these surgeons.
Crafty Coder says, right, I was going to say robotic assist happens a lot in ortho.
Hmm. And so maybe some of those folks can be able to. I don't know if we got some ortho stuff in here or not. Um, maybe some of those folks can have some insight and be that educational liaison.
Okay.
All right, well, good for you. Vicky says it's good to get these bits of information since I'm learning about PCS coding right now. All right, look at you. Well, I'm
Vicky, the
glad we.
best. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, go ahead.
The best advice I could give you, Vicky, is learn the root operations.
Amen.
Once you get
Amen.
them down, then
It'll make it a breeze. It'll
yes,
make it a breeze. It'll be like a easy puzzle that you put together.
exactly. The root operation, then the approaches. Once you know what they are, you good money.
Good money. Good money. All right. Let's see. Excision of transverse colon, percutaneous endoscopic approach, hand assisted. I think I skipped one. Excision of appendix, percutaneous endoscopic approach, hand assisted. Again, I think that is the theme here that with these specific endoscopic approaches that they added that G.
Yeah, for
um
the hand assist. Yeah. Because
uh-huh.
normally it's a Z
Uh-huh.
or no
Well, they got a
qualifier.
Z and then the G. Yeah, I think
Right.
that's what it
So,
is.
so now that G qualifier is hand assisted.
Uh-huh. And it's
That's going to be
all
interesting.
right. All of these all of these are colon. So your colon, large intestine on either side. This one is appendix. This is transverse colon, descending a colon. All of this is the same thing. So here's where we're talking about the qualifiers. So Z is your percutaneous endoscopic approach, and this new G here would indicate the hand assisted. And then these other things here, with even though we're not giving a whole lesson, but these other things give the additional information about um, the approach, as well as whether it's a resection, the root operation. I drew a blank. The root operation. So the root operation, location, additional qualifiers are all part of your PCS code. So again, it's like once you got all the information, you put the puzzle together using the various digits to satisfy it. Okay, we got this is transfer omentum to thoracic region, open approach. That's a new code. Transfer omentum to abdominal region, open approach. Transfer omentum to pelvic region, open approach. To the inguinal region, open approach. To thoracic region, percutaneous approach. Abdominal region, percutaneous approach. Pelvic region, percutaneous, and inguinal region, percutaneous approach. Excisions of the liver. Here goes some more of the hand assisted. So excision of liver, percutaneous endoscopic approach, hand assisted. Excision of right lobe of the liver, left lobe of the liver, excision of the pancreas, resection of the liver, percutaneous endoscopic approach, hand assisted, resection of the right lobe of the liver, resection of the left lobe of the liver, resection of the gallbladder. Again, all under percutaneous endoscopic approach, hand assisted, resection of pancreas, resection of the right and left kidney and bilateral kidneys. Again, all with the additional qualifier percutaneous endoscopic approach, hand assisted. Then we have introduction of other thrombolytic into pleural cavity percutaneous approach. I'm reading the asterisk. It says as the procedure codes are designated as non-OR procedures, there is no assigned MDC or MSDRG. The ICD-10 MSDRG assignment is dependent on the reported principal diagnosis, any secondary diagnoses defined as a complication or comorbidity, or a major complication or comorbidity, procedures or services performed, age, sex, and discharge status. So these last three here are non-OR. As you see, this column here tells you whether or not it's OR. You see these say no, so these are non-OR. These two right here, or this one right here, well, I think I can say, well, I don't know. Introduction of talquetamab, anti-neoplastic into subcutaneous tissue, percutaneous approach, new technology group 9, and then monitoring of interstitial fluid volume, subepidermal moisture using electrical biocapacitance, external approach, new technology group 9. So again, most of them were around surgery codes that got the new, that are new for April. Mr. Jesse, did you have any?
If it wasn't for the hand assisted, we'd have probably only had 5 new codes.
Right. I wonder, let's see if we can find some information on that. Let's see. She said, yes, you're right. And thank you. See, we give all kinds of information. You looking? I hear you typing. We're going to get some hot off the press research right here.
It says hand assisted laparoscopic surgery, because that's what percutaneous endoscopic is. House is a somewhat different technique than that of a laparoscopic assisted surgery. With House, a sleeve appliance is used to maintain pneumoperitoneum while the operator's hand is inserted through a small incision into the abdomen. Hmm. Okay.
Hmm. So here's can I show these? Here goes some. Let me see if I can show these. So in the Google search, I see these images. So here's one where they're putting this bubble sleeve thing together. So you see this little piece right here?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm seeing is different. And here's another. Well, this is for veterinary use, but this is where they have this hand assisted laparoscopy.
Right.
What is
And
this
they so
one?
there's an appliance, I guess it was for sterility, that they put their hand in
Mm-hmm.
to get to. Hmm. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have fun reading that documentation.
uh yeah, they're putting their hand through this additional. Here's another one that's showing they're putting their hand through this additional device to get in there to
Mhm.
do. Yeah, interesting. Uh-oh, somebody got a video of a hand. I don't know if he's showing the actual thing, but there's one on nephrectomy. Okay. Well, we learn something new every day. Here's another. They're in there.
I don't look to me. Look, you might as well just call it open because they doing that. That's too much. When you put in your hand, I mean, because can we be clear? Like how they said, through a small incision, no hand can fit through a small incision. I mean, why? What?
Yeah, those are large, but they're actually, yeah, all of these. Wow. Interesting.
I don't know how that could still be considered laparoscopic, but hey,
Well, because they still got, well, in this picture, the scope is still there. But what, I
and
mean, and these two, I don't know.
that
But
that
something I just saw, it was like, it is a useful, what is this? This was old. This is 2020 or 2003. A useful alternative to conventional open or laparoscopic surgery. If fragmented and comes from specific or selected indications. And it's abbreviated as HALS. So if you see something in your documentation that says HALS,
they're not gonna say that. But I agree with you. Tanika said, "Yeah, that's pretty much open." When you putting a hand in the orifice,
just showing y'all what I see in the on these internet streets. uh, what are these? This shows little bitty. I mean, maybe I don't know. I don't know. I was looking for something a little more recent. I don't see nothing. Yeah, that's what they were talking about for PCS.
that's some shenanigans.
I cannot with you, sir. Where's my tea? Okay, so that's what's new on the street. All of these
So,
particular.
so Sherry says, so maybe it won't be so hard for them to remember to put that in the notes. Yeah, okay. We gonna see about that one, Sherry.
Be optimistic and believe that they will. Or somewhere in the whatever they're using to document their note, there'd be a checkbox or something that they're gonna have to check off. Maybe they won't specifically say, but you know me. Yeah, she said that's pretty open. She says, "Wow, yeah, well
Exactly,
done."
Leola. That's all we can do.
Right.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, so that was the reason for um some of these. I wonder. I'm gonna go back because I did listen to. I was at the virtually. You know, you can go before they make the codes. Wait, let me stop sharing. Before they make the codes official
Right.
at the I'm drawing a blank. The committee maintenance and coordinating committee meetings where they have the providers who want to introduce either new diagnosis codes or new procedure codes come and give information about uh, why they feel these codes are necessary. And so maybe I'll go back and see. And you can also, I think it's on CMS's website where you can go back and see I think now because they're virtual, I think you can also look at the videos. But they also have the transcript. And usually when the person comes, they have a full-fledged presentation. So they'll have a presentation and talk about, whatever they're proposing, and why. So I wonder, I want to go back and maybe take a look at that and see um, what their thoughts were behind that. I'm curious. Good morning, precious. Oh Lord, see, I was getting to it. I was getting to it. It seems definitely like another surgeon would be involved because who is controlling the scope while that big hand is in the way, ma'am,
Craft
ma'am.
coder. Uh,
Right, and then well in that one picture, the with the two, like, is that the one person? You got multiple people hands in there. What's
exactly.
happening? Look, I can see more codes coming, more modifier or more qualifiers for one hand, two hands. I don't know.
Exactly. And good morning, precious Jim.
Yes, this is what I was thinking. The
Yeah.
committee meetings. She fell out laughing. See, all of y'all. There's probably the sweets and them cookies y'all eating. Yes, yes. So, and I guess I might as well say I don't think there were no new um updates for CM. Wait a minute. There were no new um, there were no new diagnosis codes that are being implemented for April 21st or April 1st for ICD-10-CM. Um, there may have been I think there was some changes or something in your coding guidelines. So check that. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. Yeah. There's some stuff in there. And so if you don't have anything to do in those evenings where, because this is about 140 some pages, 120 pages worth of reading.
Leola has a question. Is there a CPT already in existence?
for hand assist.
Or does she mean like the committee meeting? Because I think that the
So
AM.
what they do is there is a CPT and RVS symposium that happens, and it's similar where they go and introduce all of the oh she said yes. Oh wait a minute. So if you ask, so I'm gonna answer the hand assist. Okay, that I don't know. I can go. Hold on, hold on. Let me flash to you. Let me go get my.
Okay.
All right, I'm back. Okay. Well, let me check out my CBT changes. Woo! Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. In my surgery. And this was all kind of digestive system. Mm-mm-mm. I don't see anything in here for any new codes. Um,
And Leola left a comment. She said maybe just the CPT modifier. So that could be, they could add a modifier because they have 1,001 of them.
don't do that. Don't come for our CPT world.
Look, y'all do.
uh I don't see anything about a new modifier. But yeah, that may be the easiest route. But they do, but I don't know because they do break it down by approach in certain codes. So that may be something she's there for real. Don't do that, y'all. Um, but they do break the codes down by approach. So that may be something that's coming. Hey, I have to look up for that.
Because I really think that's going to be a game changer. Sticking your whole hand and calling it laparoscopic.
I don't know. Well, I mean, that one article from that's why I was looking for something more recent, like the Journal of JAMA, because I was about to butcher that. Was 2003. uh, somebody asked hand port assisted. Lord, ain't no telling what they said. Let me stop. So this is dated. The surgery has been out for a minute, and somebody over in the AAPC world had asked a question. I think it was a physician, recently performed a surgery where hand port was used laparoscopically to remove abdominal mass. Anyone know what CPT code to use? And someone answered, I looked into this a while back. When a hand port is used, it is still a laparoscopic procedure. It doesn't change the code at all. But this was dated. This was 2010. So this has been going on for a minute. Somewhere in the world. Somewhere in the world. I'm trying to see. There was something in the activist community. Oh, wait. Interestingly enough, when a surgeon does a laparoscopic procedure and uses a hand port, the approach is coded to open, which is contradictory to what I just read for their. See, never mind. I am not sure the size of the incision the original poster is referring to, but possibly something very similar. This coding clinic may muddy the water, and another question may need to be posed, as somebody suggested. Oh, this was in. Oh, hold up. Let me share this. This was in 2018. I don't know something. Well, it will be different now because now you actually have um, you actually have a code. I mean, you actually have the new, and maybe this is where this came from. You actually have the new code coming out in April. So maybe this is probably why, because y'all got a whole bunch of, so CPT need to get on it. Or there should be um there should be something that shares. So this is where they had hand assisted laparoscopy, nephro ureteral or ureterectomy. There we go. Nephro ureterectomy. I have to still break them down.
That's right.
um, this was in the coding clinic. So again, this is dated 2014. But they asked, so they were doing this removed via hand assisted laparoscopy. And the distal ureter was removed from the bladder via an incision. What is the appropriate ICD-10-PCS code assignment when two planned approaches are used to completely remove the ureter? And they said this is considered an open approach. So this is what you use. Again, because they had this question, we need to submit to coding clinic. I did submit. How did they respond? Da 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 da. So now I guess the new response is y'all have a qualifier to indicate when these hand assisted surgeries are actually being performed. See, I always got to find the why. Always got to find the why. All right. So there you have it, y'all. Some of the, or all of the 41 new codes that, 41 ICD-10-PCS codes that are coming into play, into existence, effective April 1st, 2024. I hope this was helpful. Hope this, as we did an additional research dive into understanding, we all got, look, it was tea for me. I all got to learn it. Yep. And information on what makes something hand assisted. So be looking for your hand assisted documentation on some of these on some of these op reports. You are so welcome. Some of these op reports. Hopefully, well, they've been doing it for long enough. Hopefully somebody is saying, well, sometimes they don't even say whether it's open or closed. You just gotta.
Exactly. Look, you gotta darn near tie them down to get them to say excisional debridement.
So so I wonder how is that going to work in an AI world? Will they be able to discern and determine what something is?
No, especially if it's not written out in
autonomous coder AI that you are. How is that going to work? And again, I don't care what you use. If you use AI, if you use a human person, if you use somebody off the shore, if the documentation is not there, it's not there.
Oh, speaking of documentation,
here we go.
I got to, it took me a minute to catch on, but I got it now. I got the professional way of I said what I said.
Okay.
So
okay. We're gonna learn.
I sent this query to this, to this provider, and basically they referred me to somebody else's to another note. So when they say refer to note on such and such a date and such a time, that's their way of saying I said what I said, and I'm not changing it. I just rather you say I said what I said. I could understand that, but don't send me in a wild goose chase to get there to figure out that you said what you said.
Exactly, because that's what that is.
Because to also finish up that whole segment, because like Candy Barris said when Nene said it, what you said was some BS. That's why I'm asking you. That's why I got a query, and you still ain't answered it. So guess what? Now it don't get coded, or just let them do what they do. Because I'm not going back and forth.
Oh my God. See what the sugar does. See what these cookies do to y'all. What the cookies do. You Girl Scouts out there, bless your heart. We got to pray for y'all too. Peddling. Y'all the dealers. The sugar dealers.
For
And then
real.
you got the mamas who, want to help the daughters get to a certain level and sell so many boxes to help they troop. It's just
Let me tell you, one of my friends works for a big company. This woman finagled this company to buy Girl Scout cookies under the guise of giving them, they were going to donate them. Her company bought 5,000 boxes and they couldn't even give them away. Nobody wanted them. But see, people go too.
they go too far.
Yeah.
So they hitting y'all on they give you something free. Taste it. Then they gonna come back and get you on see. They'll hit you on the re-up.
Telling you, look, it's them Bobby socks and them berets that get you.
About to fall on the floor. Oh my God. All right, y'all. We are at the top of the hour. Thank you all again so much for joining the Saturday morning tea or checking out the replay. One thing you are guaranteed is to laugh because there is some laughter in here today.
Carrie said lemon cookie attitude. That's right.
Yes. So was the tea spilled today? Again, I hope this information regarding these updates were helpful for you. And especially if you are in the inpatient world. I told you we're going to swim in Mr. Jesse's world today. Learning and understanding the why behind the updates to ICD-10-PCS. So yes. Okay, I got some stuff saying. Thank you so much for making it fun. You're welcome. Those are teapots or teacups. Yes. Another teacup. Thank you both. You are welcome. So again, if this information was valuable for you, help us share this message with others by sharing the video and subscribing to the channel. Be sure to follow us for more information on all things health information, compliance, revenue cycle, and medical coding. And as you leave out, don't forget to hit the thumbs up or like button. Yes. Also check out the Coding Nurse channel on YouTube. So this has been a fun session. I swear I'm about to put together something for y'all, for the prayer warriors to assist them. We gonna put together the prayer list and what it is that we're praying against. As I think Tanika said, we're gonna rebuke Girl Scout cookies. I see we have a specific Girl Scout cookie we need to rebuke. These lemon ones, lemonades.
Yes.
All right, y'all. So again, this was a great session today. Thank you all for joining. We are, for those of you who are part of our Patreon is the additional community where we further discuss the information here on the Saturday morning tea. Also, Patreon receives actual documents. We have a whole folder set up where we share all kinds of information specifically for those who are in the entrepreneurial space, but we also have documents and tips and other gems for those in our health information spaces as well. So consider becoming a Patreon. You find the information on that within the link as well, within the video description. So we'll see you over in the Patreon. That normally starts at 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. So for those of you who are over there, see you in a bit. But thank you all for joining. And remember, be safe, be kind, and don't wish for it, work for it. Oh, I forgot. Mr. Jesse, did you have any last closing words?
No,
I just skipped all over you.
No, this was really helpful. And definitely, I will definitely be reporting back probably sometime in May when I finally see somebody who has, when they find out, was maybe where I work, they don't know that it's a procedure, but I can definitely see a couple of them running amok, and it's just going to be a free for all. So
That's
I'll keep you all posted.
we appreciate that. We appreciate that. All right, y'all. So again, remember, be safe, be kind, and don't wish for it. Work for it. Until next time, take care and have a great weekend. Bye bye.